Hello peeps of the internet. I finally figured I'd get round to doing my top 25 Transformers for the Facebook Transformers YouTube community. I think I've got all those words the right way around. Maybe not. Yes, so anyway, top 25. Wow, it's quite a daunting task really, isn't it? 30 years of Transformers. Pin it down to 25 of them that you like the most. I mean, I think some of them I've got down, but you know, there's several iterations I like of that character, so but they're only taking up one slot. Yeah, so I've got it down 25. I've not really put them in any particular order. I figured I was going to try and go through these, see if I could find, you know, the 25. But as soon as I've got the pen to paper, I just using them as a book rest more than anything. I didn't really need much help to try and because once I started thinking, I was like, oh, with these down, I've got to put this character down, I've got to put that character down. So yeah, anyway, enough waffling on, let's just get on, because, you know, list 25, a bit of ratty envelope. Number 1, Slag. Put Slag down. I remember getting Slag as a birthday present. The Dinobots were really what cemented Transformers for me, they're the ones that piqued my interest over the GoBots, say, you know, that's what made me a Transformers fan. And I remember getting Slag, and he's just this gorgeous Triceratops, metalness, and chrome, and guns, and you know, he had this really kind of binary character, who, you know, even his name, I mean, we're going on about now that we've changed his name to Slug because, you know, slag is an offensive term in the UK. You know, back then it was an offensive term. It's not a new thing. It's just Ray Winston's fault for using it all the time in any film he's in. You know what I mean? It's blame Ray Winston basically for changing his name. Otherwise, we could have got away with it. We got away with it in the 80s, but now Ray Winston uses it a lot, and we can't have it. Yeah, but anyway, Slag. Yeah, brilliant. It's just a brilliant toy. Didn't really do that much in the comics or the cartoons, but you know, yeah, I think it's still connected to that memory of having being a child for birthdays and all that type of stuff. So I think that's why, you know, he made the list. There's got some other Dinobots on there as well. 2. Tidal Wave from Armada. I mean, I had the toy with him. I mean, I never really watched much of the cartoon, but I remember seeing bits in the cartoon. It was just this big, hulking, flying boat guy. Tidal Wave. So he's quite cool in that. And it's this toy that was just like these 3 randomly shaped boats that combine to make a bigger boat that then form this absolutely massive robot who's just this big, it looks like Frankenstein's monster because he's just this big straight, really this guy, nice clickety clackety joints as well. I mean, yeah, the Armada computer game for the PlayStation 2, I think it was, that level where he's in, and there's this big, he's having to fight against this big hulking Decepticon murderer. It's just brilliant. Yeah, so that's one. Number 3 on the list is Beast Wars Megatron. Again, just great character in the cartoons. He's the Megatron that could. You know what I mean? Other iterations of Megatron, I just have these weird plans. Megatron in G1 just had, I'm going to I'm going to go make a nightclub to brainwash people to steal cars so they can, I'm mixing episodes here. No, it was brainwash people in a disco so they could build some kind of thing for him. And then there was one where it's just get higher thugs to steal cars, so then you could turn the cars into drone warriors to attack things. What else? Yeah. So anyway, G1 Megatron is just crazy, ill-conceived plan. Beast Wars Megatron played one game, you know what I mean? He was a long game player. He'd sit back and he'd watch and he'd let things play out, and you know, that was it. You know, he was a tactician, smarmy, sarcastic, perpetually just annoyed at the inadequacies of truth, but it wasn't like, oh no, you failed, I'm going to smack it around. It was just a self-resigned sort of like facepalm Megatron, which with his palm was a bit deadly because it could bite him because it was a dinosaur head. I think my favourite iteration, my favourite toy of him was the Transmetal version. That'll be up in my parents' attic somewhere, so I'll have to get that into my new house at some point. I'm a bit wary of ever touching that Transformer ever again, in case the gold plastic just dissolves in my hands. Transmetal 2 version, I know a lot of people rave on about that. For me, that was a bit of buyer's regret. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would like it. So, number 4 on my list is Swerve. I mean, Swerve is really, he's James Robert IDW Swerve. He's just this wisecracking, funny little Autobot. He's just brilliant. I think he's just embodies what the entire series is about. Now they've even got him on doing the previously, sort of like giving a big speech of what's happened before. Yeah, Swerve is just a great little guy. Similarly, Swindle, the Decepticon con man. I like how, as opposed to all the other Decepticons who are blindly following Megatron or trying to take him over, the time Decepticons typically fill one of those two. They're either blindly loyal or they want the power for themselves. And Swerve wants to make a buck, wants to make a quick buck, he wants to make a bit of money, and I think that just gives him a little bit more about him than the other cons. Number 6, Impactor. Impactor, comic book only character. I think there is now he's part of the Wreck-gar's Ruination. I think they call him Ruination for the War for Cybertron, or Fall of Cybertron Bruticus remold to look like Wreck-gar. So there is an Impactor there, but it's still like a nice, lovely one, really. He's just a badass, especially Zombie Impactor was even better. Zombie Impactor was just a cool guy. Next up we have Ravage. Ravage is just amazing. Didn't talk in the cartoons, but did in the comic books, and I think in the comic books for a while, when Megatron had been deposed and was coming back to power and going back to Cybertron to reclaim power, and Ravage became his kind of sidekick in that. He was just great, I think, and just had some great little characteristics about him. And then obviously ported over to some Beast Wars episodes where he'd been given a full body. He just had this dodgy accent and was, for the Decepticons. He was just crazy. It was brilliant. Number 8, Grimlock. Again, talking more of Simon Thurman's flagship character, really. Grimlock, and that's the Grimlock that I like, and his masterpiece is just absolutely amazing toy because he's just really well articulated in robot form and really well articulated in dinosaur mode. So I think he got that edge over the other masterpieces because some of them turn into cars and trucks that roll well, but Grimlock's got all these little woggly heads and tails and 3 little fingers on his tiny T-Rex arms, which is brilliant. So yeah, Grimlock, number 9, Carnivac. Carnivac is another UK Transformers Marvel character. The toy was always a bit of a disappointment, but his character in the comics was a bit of a prototype of what Dinobot ended up like in Beast Wars. Really, is this Decepticon who changed sides because didn't really believe in what Decepticons were doing. He had a bit more of a code of honour about him than the other cons, and so he left. But he joined the Autobots, but he never became an Autobot. He was always still a Decepticon, but he never had the right of the Autogram or anything like that. But he stayed with them, and I thought he was a really good character in that. 10, Bombshell. Love the toy as a kid. Love the toy as a kid. He was just this lovely little insect guy, and I think the fact that he had these several shells that could get into people's brains and reprogram Transformers' brains to make them really decide. That was really insidious, and I thought that was really just a nice little touch about the character. Number 11 on the list, Prime RC. RC from Prime, I thought it was just an excellent character, really strong, sort of like positive female character, kind of avoids a lot of the pitfalls of essentially what female characters are like in boys' cartoons, because it kind of moves away from that. And I think she's a really strong character. And obviously, RC in the 80s kind of had this kind of like very cliche sort of 80s cartoon female, but I think RC just moves away from that a lot, and it's just and the toy is amazing. The Robots in Disguise toy is sweet. It's really just a nice bit of Transformer engineering. Right, moving on, we have Rhinox. Rhinox was the daddy. He was a daddy in Beast Wars, wasn't he? He was just he was the maximal that wasn't a bit of a tool. Most what was Primal we had was alright, but we had Rat Trap, who was either very effective and efficient, or he was a coward. He's kind of mixed between the two. Obviously Dinobot had his own agendas going on, and Cheeto was young. He was just inexperienced, young, and often he makes all the mistakes. Had Silverbolt, who was just Silverbolt, this knightly guy. He couldn't really get his own little things going on. He never really wasn't particularly good at following orders, Silverbolt. But yeah, Rhinox was a guy. He could do everything. He was strong. He had what they called chain guns of command. He's just, that he just blasted away the Predacons with, and he was intelligent. He could do all the science stuff. So he was like a one bot army, really. Rhinox. He could do everything, but also he had a lot of soul. He had a lot of heart to him. He really looked out for all his other Maximals, and he was, he was always had Prime's back and everything. I think, so Rhinox was really one of the standout characters of that show. Taking up 13 and 14 is Sideswipe and Sunstreaker. I didn't really want to separate these two. Given a preference, it's always been Sideswipe. I think Sideswipe was possibly one of the first Transformers they ever owned, so he was, that's always, so he's always had a special part, obviously with the Transformers, is always, when I think Transformers, I think Sideswipe, because of that. I got Sunstreak a little later on. His toy pretty much instantly broke straight away, but I don't know, for some reason I just always, the two Lamborghini brothers have always been special to me. They never really did much in the shows or the comic books, but in my child imagination, they did a lot of things. They were kick-ass. Next on the list, number 15, Nautilator. Nautilator was just one of the Seacons, just this dinky little lobster toy. I got a toy and I just really loved the dinky little lobster toy, so that's why he's on there. 16, Ratchet. I think really going to focus on these animated, I think post-animated really. I mean, animated set up really this cranky old veteran kind of doctor, a role that is now kind of going across all continuities, and that's how he's portrayed. I mean, he was really good in the G1 comics, I think. Because again, he was kind of the guy that could do things. You know, he was the guy who likes revives, that finds the Dinobots so they can save them from all the Autobots from Shockwave, and you know, he does a lot of stuff. Ratchet, but I think once they put him with that cranky Doctor role, and then in Prime, Jeffrey Combs voices him, and I think it's one of the last episodes in season 2, is it, when Prime destroys the MacGuffin Cyber Key Terraform device on Cybertron, and Ratchet is just really lets him have it. He really just lays into it, and I think that's just brilliant. It's just just the acting in that just blows everyone away. 17 is Springer. He was just like an 80s tough action guy, and I think, you know, he always will be, and he's just brilliant for that. 19 on the list, Skullcruncher. I still the pink and green crocodile headmaster guy. I had him as a toy, and again, he's someone who's not really ever done much, but I just love that toy. 20, Snarl. Another Dinobot. He was just like this, probably the strong silent type. Didn't really like himself. Goes missing in the movies, but his toy was just amazing. It just the angles and just everything of him was just an amazing toy. 21, Prowl. I think from the start, I think Thurman started in G1 a little bit of the Machiavellian Prowl. He's just gone on further. He's got worse and worse as different continuities have got hold of him. So yeah, I really like the Machiavellian Prowl. Skywarp. I thought I had sort of Seeker on the list. Love Skywarp's profile, his paint job, his colour scheme, and I think it's actually the TF wiki that has sold me to Skywarp over the other Seekers. It's just they make lots of references to him pushing people down, like the type of person who'd push people downstairs, and I just find that hilarious. So as such, I don't know. I've got Skywarp right at the bottom of my stairs. He's staying at the bottom of my stairs. He's not going anywhere near the top because he's not going to push me down. 23, Cup. Again, he's more of the IDW phase. When I was a child, I didn't ever really gel with Cup. Watching it back now on the movie, I think it's just brilliant that he's voiced by Max from Heart to Heart. When they met, it was murder. I just love, you know, they've got him doing it, and yeah, he's great on the cigar chomping, just badass that he is in IDW. 24th on the list is Wreck-gar. I mean, Wreck-gar is Eric Idle, one of the Pythons voiced in the movies. Just this gnarly, junky biker dude, and then it was it was a dump truck in animated, voiced by, oh my god, what Dirty Stupid, brain fart. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. He sang Dirty to Be Stupid in the movie, so it was a good, no, it's gone out of my head. Anyway, that was a good circular thing, but yeah, mainly the biker, gnarly, talk TV dude from the movies I loved. And last but no means least, the last Dinobot on my list is Dinobot. Dinobot from Beast Wars was just a standout character in that show. I think, you know, he was the bad guy, honourable bad guy, turned good. A bit cliche, I know, but you know, they did it so well, and Code of the Hero, where he eventually buys it, is just one of the did it make? I think it did make me cry. It did make me cry. One of the only episodes of Transformers to ever make me cry is Code of the Hero. So Dinobot is number 25. So that is my list. We're coming up to 20 minutes. Oh, well, at least it wasn't 25 minutes, so I didn't like waste a minute on each. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching everyone else's 25 top Transformers. Good to see you all. Ta-ta for now. Brrr.